welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of South Indian languages. You know, those beautiful, intricate languages that make you feel like you should be wearing a silk sari just listening to them? We're talking Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, the whole gang's here. And let's be honest, sometimes it feels like these languages are in a whole other league of their own. I mean, have you ever seen someone write in Malayalam? It looks like they're composing a symphony with their pen. So we thought it would be fun to rank these languages from the most difficult to the easiest for us non-native speakers to learn. Think of it like a linguistic Hunger Games. But instead of fighting to the death, we're just trying to string together a sentence without pulling a muscle in our tongues. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with the heavyweight champion of South Indian languages, Malayalam. This language is not just a means of communication, it's a cultural treasure trove, a linguistic labyrinth that has fascinated and challenged people for centuries. Now, I'm not saying Malayalam is out to get anyone, but if it were a person, it would be that friend who corrects your grammar in their sleep. It's a language that demands respect and precision, and it has no qualms about letting you know when you've slipped up. First off, the script. Imagine trying to write a grocery list after a triple espresso. That's what Malayalam script feels like. The script is a beautiful yet intricate dance of curves and loops, each character a work of art in its own right. It's got more curves than a Bollywood dance number, and just when you think you've mastered one letter, bam, another one pops up that looks suspiciously similar. The script is a visual feast, but it can also be a visual puzzle, with each letter demanding your full attention. And then there's the pronunciation. Malayalam laughs in the face of vowels, opting instead for a complex system of sounds that could make a beatboxer blush. The language is a symphony of sounds, each one more challenging than the last. Don't even get me started on the ja sound. It's like trying to gargle and whistle at the same time. This particular sound is the bane of many learners, a true test of one's linguistic mettle. But wait, there's more. Malayalam grammar is like the ultimate game of linguistic chess. It's a strategic battle of wits, where every move counts, and one wrong step can lead to a cascade of errors. You've got multiple levels of formality, verb conjugations that could make your head spin, and enough sand-eye rules. That's when sounds change depending on the words around them, to make a linguist weep. The grammar is a complex web of rules and exceptions, each one more intricate than the last. It's a lot to take in, I know. The sheer volume of rules and nuances can be overwhelming, but it's also what makes Malayalam so fascinating. It's a language that challenges you to think, to adapt, and to grow. But here's the thing about Malayalam. It's also incredibly beautiful. The language is a reflection of the land it comes from, rich in history and culture, with a depth and complexity that is truly awe-inspiring. It's a language that's as rich and layered as the culture it comes from, with a musicality that will make your heart sing. The sounds of Malayalam are like a melody, each word a note in a beautiful symphony. So yeah, it's tough, but hey, so is climbing Mount Everest, and people do that all the time, right? Learning Malayalam is a journey, a challenge that will test your limits but also reward you with a deeper understanding of a rich and vibrant culture. So take a deep breath, embrace the challenge, and dive into the world of Malayalam. You might just find that the journey is as rewarding as the destination. Next up, we've got Tamil, the elder statesman of the group. This language has been around for centuries, and it's got the wisdom and the grammar rules to prove it. Tamil is one of the oldest living languages in the world, with a rich literary tradition that dates back over 2 millennia. It's a language that has evolved and adapted over time, yet has managed to retain its core essence. Now, the Tamil script is a bit less intimidating than Malayalam. It's like they took the Malayalam script and put it on a diet. The script is more streamlined, with fewer curves and loops, making it somewhat easier to read and write. But don't be fooled. It's still a complex system that requires dedication to master. Still, it's no walk in the park. You've got your fair share of squiggles and dots to contend with, and some of those letters look awfully chummy with each other. The script is an art form in itself, with each character meticulously crafted. It's a visual representation of the language's deep cultural roots, and some of those letters look awfully chummy with each other. They often blend together in ways that can be confusing for beginners. But the real challenge with Tamil lies in its pronunciation. Remember those retroflex sounds I mentioned earlier? Yeah, Tamil's got them in spades. For those of you lucky enough to have never encountered a retroflex sound, imagine trying to touch your tongue to the back of your throat while simultaneously saying T or D. It's a workout for your mouth muscles, that's for sure. These sounds are integral to the language and can change the meaning of words entirely. Mastering them is crucial for effective communication. It's a workout for your mouth muscles, that's for sure. And then there's the grammar. Tamil grammar is like a labyrinth designed by a mischievous linguistic genius. It's got its own unique set of rules and structures that can leave even seasoned language learners scratching their heads. The language has a complex system of verb conjugations, noun declensions, and a rich array of tenses and moods. Each rule has its own set of exceptions, making it a true test of one's linguistic abilities. But don't let that discourage you. Tamil is a language steeped in history and culture. It's the language of ancient poetry, epic literature, and some of the most vibrant cinema in the world. Learning Tamil opens up a window to a rich cultural heritage. From the classical works of Sangam literature to contemporary Tamil cinema, the language offers a treasure trove of artistic and intellectual riches. So, while it might take some time and effort to master, the rewards are definitely worth it. Imagine being able to read ancient texts in their original form or understanding the lyrics of a beautiful Tamil song. Tamil is more than just a language. It's a gateway to a vibrant and enduring culture. It's a journey that will enrich your understanding of the world and deepen your appreciation for the diversity of human expression. It's the language of ancient poetry, epic literature, and some of the most vibrant cinema in the world. So, while it might take some time and effort to master, the rewards are definitely worth it. So embark on this linguistic adventure with an open heart and mind. The journey of learning Tamil is as enriching as the destination itself. Happy learning! Chapter 3. Telugu, the methodical melodist. Moving right along, let's talk about Telugu, the language that's often described as Italian of the East. This comparison isn't just a whimsical notion, it stems from the melodious and rhythmic quality of the language, much like Italian, and you know what? They're not wrong. The way Telugu flows with its lilting intonations and smooth transitions makes it a joy to listen to and speak. Telugu has a certain musicality to it, a flow that just rolls off the tongue. This musicality is evident in the way poetry and songs are crafted in the language, often leaving listeners enchanted. Now, the Telugu script, it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's visually striking with its rounded characters and intricate designs, but it can be quite a challenge for beginners. On the one hand, it's pretty elaborate with a whole bunch of characters to memorize. Each character has its own unique form and sound, making the learning process both fascinating and demanding. It's like the script equivalent of a Thanksgiving feast. There's just so much going on. The abundance of characters can feel overwhelming at first, but with time and practice it becomes a rewarding experience. But here's the good news. Telugu is mostly phonetic. This means that once you get the hang of the alphabet, reading and writing becomes significantly easier. Once you learn the alphabet, you can pretty much sound out any word you come across. This phonetic nature is a huge advantage for language learners, as it reduces the guesswork involved in pronunciation. And the grammar? Well, it's not exactly a walk in the park, but it's definitely more manageable than Tamil or Malayalam. Telugu grammar follows a logical structure, which, once understood, can make constructing sentences a lot easier. Telugu follows a more systematic structure with fewer of those head-scratching grammatical quirks that its counterparts are known for. This systematic approach makes it a bit more predictable and easier to master over time. So, if you're looking for a South Indian language that's both beautiful and relatively approachable, Telugu might just be your jam. Its combination of musicality, phonetic script, and systematic grammar makes it an attractive option for language enthusiasts. It's got that perfect balance of challenge and reward, and who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent for singing along the way. Embracing Telugu could open up a world of cultural richness and linguistic beauty that you never knew existed. Chapter 4. Kannada, the gateway to the South. Last but certainly not least, we have Kannada, the language that's often considered the most accessible of the bunch. And you know what? I'm not going to argue with that. The Kannada script is like the friendly younger sibling of the Telugu script. It's got a similar vibe, but it's a bit simpler, with fewer characters to keep track of. It's like they took the Telugu script and said, you know what? Let's just streamline this a bit. And the language itself, well, it's surprisingly straightforward. Kannada grammar is relatively intuitive, and the vocabulary shares a lot of similarities with other Indian languages, making it easier to pick up if you're already familiar with Hindi or any other Indo-Aryan language. Now, don't get me wrong, Kannada is still a distinct and beautiful language in its own right. It's got its own unique quirks and expressions that make it special. But But if you're looking for a relatively painless entry point into the world of South Indian languages, Canada is definitely a great place to start. It's like the gateway drug to a whole new world of linguistic adventures. And there you have it, a quick guide to the major South Indian languages ranked by difficulty. We've journeyed through the linguistic landscapes of Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, and Kannada, and hopefully you've come out the other side with a newfound appreciation for these incredible languages. Whether you're a language enthusiast or planning to visit South India, we hope this video helps you understand these beautiful languages a bit better. Remember, learning a new language is like embarking on an adventure. It's challenging, it's rewarding, and it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. So go forth and explore, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content.